Hi everyone, I'm the plant propagator and welcome to my channel. Today I'm in the laboratory for actually the last day for another 3 weeks. So I am leaving all of this and heading someplace cold, heading back to the Midwest for 3 weeks. But I wanted to do one more video about my orchids and my orchid seedlings, just to let you know how they're doing. And so this is a result of me coming into the laboratory and the culture room, this room today, and what I do weekly with my deflased orchids is I remove the standing water or fertilizer that's in the buckets that I use to hold them, the tubs that I use to hold them, and I replace that with fresh water or fertilizer, and then I let them go. And it's important because normally I do this weekly, and now I'm going to let these things go for a month. So I'm going to add maybe just a little bit more to make sure that they have the water that they need, but I keep them in closed containers so they're not going to dry out. And the main thing is, how are they going to be without fresh water every week? And I've done this in the past and they'll be fine. But what I wanted to share with you is something that just really surprises me and amazes me every time I see it, and it makes me so very happy. And that is the incredible root formation and the root development that I'm seeing in my deflased orchids. So what happens in my flased orchids, so I'm just going to grab this one, and you may or may not be able to see this well, but what happens with these things is they get in, there's just incredible root formation of these orchids when they're even in flasks. And these are two of my different hybrids. I'll get a close-up of some of these so you can see what it looks like, but this is incredible root. I really emphasize roots in flasks, and then also in my deflased orchids, but also in my orchids when they're growing outside in my collection. The roots are they're important. The roots are the heart of the orchid. They're the most important part, and if you've got good root growth, it means your orchids are doing well. So I tend to emphasize, and so the title of this video today, and what I feel in general, is that it is all about the roots. And I emphasize that really with everything, like I said. So what I want to do is get behind the camera. It's kind of hard to show you what's going on in these tubs. So I grow my orchids, the deflased orchids, in these tubs, and what I want to do is kind of give you a close look at the roots in my deflased orchids. So I have two groups. I have the first group that I'm going to show you are some orchids that I deflased about a month ago. And even within a month, you're going to see really nice root formation and elongation on the group of orchids that I'll show you first. That's the 1 month since deflasking. And then I'm going to go to the 2 months, and these are all different hybrids and different plants. And then I'm going to go to the 2 months. So then I have the second group of, it looks like 4 tubs that I want to show you, where it's been 2 months since deflasking. And those are similarly just incredible root growth. And this is what I get if you treat the orchids just right, if you grow them just right after deflasking. You'll have, if you start out with good quality starting material, like my flasks here, you're going to get incredible root growth. And what happens as a result of that is you get good plants. I'm hoping that these guys are all going to flower early, but indications are these plants grow really quickly. One of the things that I did, so I was looking, when I'm doing the things in my tubs, I wanted to pull one of my 2-inch pots out and take a look at the roots. And what happens, I pulled it out, I dragged after 1 month, I dragged the orchid in the pot next to it along with it, because its roots had come out of the bottom of the pot after 1 month and up into the other pot. So incredible growth. And when they're reaching out for nutrients, when they're growing this quickly, they're just going to do well. And that's how I feel. And that's what I'm trying to do with these things. So what I want to do is share some of this exciting new growth with you. It's always nice to see it's nicer to see flowers, but it's also nice to see incredible root growth in these small seedlings. So what I want to do is get behind the camera. Again, we'll start out with a 1 month since deflasking group, and then we'll move to the 2 months since deflasking group. And just so you know, normally what I try to do is have these things sit in the tubs for 3 months, maybe 3.5 months, something like that. And so the timing of this is pretty good. So what'll happen is I'll come back in a month, and the 3 month group, or the 2 month group, will then be the 3 month group, and they'll be ready to go, ready to put outside. And I'm going to have a lot of really nice orchids that I don't have space for. I'm going to have to get out of these tubs and find homes for. All right, so let me get behind the camera and show you what some of these beautiful orchid seedlings look like. Again, focusing on the roots. Okay, and we're back. So I do realize that I have shared with you images and video like this before, but I guess I'm so excited by this, and I'm so impressed by this that I just need to keep on doing it again. If you're tired of these types of videos showing you these, this incredible root growth, well, let me know, and if you want to see anything else. Anyway, all right, so this is the first group, and these are we're going to look at these 3 tubs right here. And this is a group that was deflasked 1 month ago. So I'm looking at the date on the side of the container, and it is actually 2 days short of a month ago. So, but what I want you to see as you look at this is you should be able to see, this is new root growth. And so the long root, it's only been a month, orchids grow slowly, but this long root right here and the 2 new ones that are growing out of it, that's new stuff. And as we look in here, you can see the same type of thing, and hopefully you can tell. I try to, bury most of the roots, a lot of nice new roots on this plant. When there's the really nice green tip on these roots, that is really indicative of the new root growth. So there's a lot of new root growth coming out of this plant right there, and as we move along, but you can see what the new roots look like on these plants, and maybe not all of them. So the one plant is focusing on the leaf. The one plant that's right in the middle there, probably not much going on there above ground. But what happens is, if you plant these seedlings at the right depth, you'll get generation of these additional roots that come out over the top. That's the back of the tub. It's kind of hard to see, but the root coming out on the right of that, those are all new, and the coming out on the left and going over the side of the container, that's new also. And these are all Encyclia tampensis, and I'm just going to guess that most of these came out of a single flask. There may have been additional ones, I don't know. But again, 1 month, same with this group right here. This is 1 month. This is a Cattleya, a new Cattleya hybrid, but these are all, you can see, I think, that these are all new roots here. The plant itself is not that big, but that's a new root there. Those are new roots coming out there, new root there. So all these are new roots that are coming, but the plants themselves look pretty good. I should also mention, and if you're observant, you're noticing this, the white splotches on the leaves. And I treat all of these plants at 1 month, or 3 weeks, which was last week. I treat them with a mycorrhizal inoculant. You're supposed to add the stuff that's meant for terrestrial plants, but I add it to my laboratory wash bottle, and I just spray it. I make it into a solution. I spray it on the plants. I've had videos on this in the past, and I do this because somebody said it worked really good, and I think it does, but I actually did a plus-minus screen in this group, and I'll know a little bit more. It's too early to tell how well it worked, but that's what the white stuff is on the leaves of these deflasked plants, and there's a lot of it. I got some people that are really bothered by the by the white been by the fact that you're inoculating these plants with a fungus, but you know, they seem to be doing okay. As we look through here, I'm showing you the same thing over and over again, but you know, nice looking, decent plants, white splotches, not to be worried about. If anything, they're fighting pathogenic fungi, but the main thing to look at is in the example of these two plants right here. You know, all the roots that you see coming out of the crown of this plant, those are all new. And I didn't rearrange these. These are just in the box, in the tub like this. But this is what happens with these plants, is they really grow quickly. And then again, this is another one. So this is a new Cattleya hybrid. This is another new Cattleya hybrid here. And again, the first tub that we looked at is Encyclia tampensis. Okay, so this is 1 month. And I'm impressed because this is 1 month after deflasking, and most of the roots that are growing along the top of the bark, the orchiata bark, those are new roots. And after a month for orchids, that's pretty impressive. Okay, what we want to look at next are these four. And so these are ones that are 2 months old. And we're going to start out looking at the ones on the bottom, just so you can see you know, that's even just more root growth right there. There's, you know, you can see, so when looking around, I guess not all the plants, but you know, many of the plants do have, and this other one right here that kind of disappeared, you know, over the side of the pot, and I don't know what it attached to. This one is just really impressive. And then look at the size of this monster in the back. This is a single, well, the person that did this deflasking, she put a couple of babies in there with this huge plant. I don't do that. You know, the babies they're just not, look, those aren't going to be as big as the one in the middle. So the one in the middle is huge, and that's the one that we're probably going to get the first flower out of, but that's huge. That's a huge plant. Okay, as we move on a little bit, so let's take a look at another, this is another one of my hybrids, but you can see, again, the incredible, again, 2 months after deflasking, and you look through and the plants are getting a little bigger, so they're actually shading the new roots, but you can get a glimpse of what's going on here as these roots come, you know, grow over the pot into the next pot, or they grow out of the pot and down, but you can get an idea of the nice root growth that you can see on these plants. I mean, and this is again after 2 months, but what happens again at the end of 2 months is the plants themselves start to grow and they start to look nicer and a little bigger. But what's going on again within the first month or two is important. There's a different hybrid right here. This one for some reason is just incredibly, I mean, come on, that's 2 months after deflasking. The roots were all in the pot, and they're growing just everywhere. I gotta show you what's right impressive as we get to the next. Is it here? Where is it? Oh, right here. Look at this. Look at this. So the roots on this plant right here grew up on the tag, and this is after 2 months. And I don't know if you can tell from the angle. Yeah, there you go. They're bent. I mean, this is just like, come on. So they're growing well. They stuck to the tag. They're looking for new places to grow. But this is, again, look at the amount of root growth on these seedlings that were deflasked 2 months, and almost all of them for this one. This, for some reason, is a really vigorous hybrid here. So I'm pretty happy with this. Again, what you see is the residual white splotches on the leaves, nothing to worry about. This is, again, the mycorrhizal inoculant that I apply. There's a clay carrier, so it gives that color, but it's nice because I can see when it was, that they were inoculated. All right, again, you get one of these in each flask. You get a monster that is by itself that won't go in some of these 2-inch pots, so it's in its own pot and it's big and it's growing new roots. But again, it's the same thing over and over again. Even with this is a different hybrid, and even with this hybrid you can see, you know, the incredible, I'm going to go at it from the side here, but you can see the incredible root growth on all of these seedlings. You know, you got some that, I mean, you know, that's okay, that's good, but you know, on most of them, this is what you see, is incredible and just really phenomenal root growth. And again, some of them you have spectacular. You know, it's interesting, this plant that has the most root growth is probably one of the smaller plants. I'm sure it'll catch up because of the roots, but some of these plants are just remarkable. Okay, so I just wanted to share, you know, the root growth on these, and in the seedlings, in the flasks, and the plants in your collection, it's all about the roots. It really is, and you get good root growth, and these are going to give you nice plants and good growth down the road. So again, I just wanted to share all this stuff with you. I'm happy to be here. I'm sad that I'm leaving for 3 weeks, but hopefully these guys will keep up their incredible growth, and I'll return in plenty of time to successfully add these guys to my collection and get the plants outside for rapid flowering. All right, that's all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed my video. If you did and you want to keep on seeing them, it would help me out if you could click on like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you're not already a subscriber. All right, once again, I hope you enjoyed it, and happy propagating.